Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Dawn and this is Days with Dawn. Hi, thank you for choosing to check out this vlog. For those of you that are new here, I'm Dawn and this channel is all about my love of organisation, encouraging self-care and embracing our imperfect selves. So a little bit about me. I live in the Midlands in the UK, I love coffee and I touch my hair a lot and I'm very expressive with my hands. I'm also married to Andy. We've been married for 15 years and we have an 8-year-old daughter called Alba. We are a big Disney loving family, and if you want to follow our family adventures over on Instagram, then check out our channel at Andy, Dawn and Alba, and I'll link it below. Today's vlog is all about my weekly kitchen reset. By reset, I mean just putting everything back in its place and getting everything ready for the week ahead. This is something that I try to do on a weekly basis. Sometimes it doesn't happen and that's okay. But I do find that when I do it, it makes the coming week so much easier and kind of just gets my head in the right space to feel like I'm organised and prepared when it comes to the kitchen, which is like, you know, the heart of the home. It's where we're going to be cooking our family meals, having some of our family meals, clearing up. There's a lot of stuff that happens in there, and especially at the moment with us all being at home all the time, it's really important that we do reset it on a regular basis. So I guess I better take you to our kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. It's not a huge mess. We've not long had lunch, so we've still got the clearing up from that to do, which I'll do as part of this. Like I say, the main kind of purpose of this is to just get things reset, ready for the week ahead, as opposed to doing a full-on kind of ceiling to floor scrub. So when I do a weekly reset, I try to go in a clockwise direction around the kitchen. I don't always, but I try to most of the time, because it means then that I finish up kind of at the sink, and it means that by the time I get there, if there is anything that I needed to use the sink for, it will have already been done. Therefore, I can kind of clean up the sink knowing that I'm then not going to need to use it straight away. So, first thing to do is to sort out the fridge. The first thing I'm going to do with the fridge this week is to take off these notes here. So these were a list of what we were going to have for dinner this week, and then a list of things that we needed to add to our food shop. Once I've done that, I will show you the inside of the fridge. We had a food delivery yesterday. We were really lucky to get a delivery spot for yesterday, a few weeks ago. And I tend to just put everything out on the side, and then Andy and I will just chuck it all in the fridge, and then a day or two later I'll have a proper sort out of the fridge. So here's our fridge as it is now. Yes, there is a lot of milk, primarily because we increased our order a few weeks ago, but you now can't amend your order unless you cancel it in full. So we keep having milk coming, but that's fine because we have tea and cereal, and I like milk anyway, so that's fine. It's actually not too shocker, to be fair. We didn't buy loads and loads of stuff, and a lot of it kind of went into the freezer. So yeah, this is it now. So I am going to just pull everything out, give everything a very quick wipe down, and then put everything back in a what I think is a tidier and more easily accessible fashion. There we have it, my reset fridge for the week. Like I say, we didn't order too much this week, so I've not really needed to like struggle for space. But just a couple of bits that I'll point out to you. So I find these containers, these are actually called fridge organisers, but I mean you could use anything. I use these, so these have got like Alba snacks in. This week we've got chocolate in there. We use lots of different bits and pieces. I love these bins from IKEA. You'll see that I've got a few around the kitchen, but I put all of our condiments in here. It means that nothing gets stained on this tray. If anything leaks, it means that nothing falls over, and obviously it is really easy to clean every so often to wipe everything out. I just prefer it all together as well, and because it's a hard box it means nothing tips over. Another thing that I do is anything that needs to be used I try and keep on the bottom. So these boiled eggs, we know we need to get those used. I've got some leftover bolognese that needs using, and then with our cooked meats and cheeses I tend to kind of put them in a bit of a filing system, and I try to then keep them in order of expiration date or when they've been opened, so I know that what's nearest the front is what needs to be used the soonest. The other thing I think that's worth saying is don't limit using the door of your fridge to just bottles. I've got it like that right now because we've got so much milk, but more often than not I'll have pots of yogurt in there or packets of things. Yeah, it's not just for bottles. I wanted to also quickly show you the freezer. Now this does need a really good kind of clean out. That's going to be a bigger project. But I mentioned the filing system that I use for the cooked meats, and I do the same with the freezer as well. So again, I've got everything up on its end. If you've got a deep enough drawer, it's easy enough to do, and then I know that whatever's nearest the front is what we bought kind of the longest time ago, so needs using the soonest ordinarily. So as we continue to move in the clockwise direction, what I'm going to do is clear away this kitchen surface space here, because I will need that to be able to look in what we call our larder to do any top-ups that need doing. So I'm going to have a quick clean up of this, wipe it down, and then I'll bring you along with me when we do our top-up. Okay, so now I've got this part of the sideboard clear, I am going to do a top up of everything I need to in our larder. There's not usually loads that we need to do, just little bits here and there. And as you can see, I try and keep it kind of in zones and as well organised as I can. I really recommend these pots, which I think we got from Home Bargains. They have busted in the past, I'll be honest, but they are so much cheaper than some of the other ones that you can get out there. I love these glass bottles from IKEA. I use these bottles for all different kinds of things, and at the moment this large one is being used for mixed nuts. And I also love these bins, which are from Home Bargains as well. I used to have these all around the kitchen in all the cupboards before we had the kitchen done, but we've got one up here with our baking stuff, so I can just pull it down and keep it out. Not that I bake very often. And then here we've got like easy access to like regular cooking bits and pieces, and then we've got snacks at the bottom here. One little tip that I found online that I really love is the idea of using a magazine file to store your potatoes in, and these you get a pack of 2 from IKEA for not very much at all, probably like £3. So we put all of our potatoes in there each week. They're easy to get to, and it just means there's less, like there's no rolling around, takes up less space, looks quite smart. Yeah, really love this idea. So I've got my top-up box here. So this has got things that we just didn't have room for, like in cereal boxes or tins or whatever. And I go through this then each week along with the larder and just top up anything that we need to. So there we go, the larder is now restocked, ready for the week ahead. And yeah, I mean, You could suggest that putting the crisps in order is a bit too far, but it just makes me happy, so why not? There hasn't been too much topping up needed the last few weeks because we've all been at home. Kind of been doing a little bit during the week anyway. One of the good reasons to do something like this is it means that you get a really good idea of not only what you need to add onto your list for your next food shop, but it also means as well that you can see what you and the family are like using most. So to give you an example, I know now from topping this up that actually we've not eaten much by way of the shreddies or the porridge, which kind of makes sense as the weather's getting a bit warmer, but it gives me an idea then of what I don't really need to keep topping up at the moment, and actually what we're having a lot of is nuts. So I haven't ordered any this week. I know that next week they're probably going to be gone, so I need to make sure I add those to the list. As I continue in the clockwise direction again, I now move over to this cupboard and drawers here, and the reason I do that is because we've got food in this cupboard, and so again, if there is anything that needs topping up, this is not really that kind of cupboard. These are things we use time to time, need topping up more sporadically. So I have a look, see what it is we need, spot the Easter eggs, see what it is that we need, and then I can add that to the list as well. So I've got my trusty list pad here, so I'm going to pop the mixed nuts on there and then just have a quick look around this cupboard and see what else we may need to add to our next shopping list. So now that I've been through the kind of main food cupboard and the larder, I've been able to start our shopping list for next week. I've also done the template for our weekly meals as well, but I haven't filled it out as yet because that's something that I do as part of our weekly prep, which it's very much a family event. We tend to do it on a Sunday, and I'm definitely going to bring you along with us one week in another vlog. I also always check this drawer here, which we affectionately refer to as the bread drawer for obvious reasons, and this helps me to just get it tidy, make sure that we've got at the front what needs using first, and I also give it a bit of a hoover as well, because as you can imagine, I get a lot of crumbs in here. So now as we continue to move around, I'm now going to clear this all the way here, get it all ready for washing up or loading in the dishwasher, and then I'm going to wipe down the side and wipe down the cooker top. I've already cleared everything away, and I've even put in our drainer and our washing bowl in the dishwasher so that they get a deep clean. I also keep a brush holder just over here on the windowsill, but I always chuck that in the dishwasher as well to give that a clean, and all of the dish brushes and stuff go in the dishwasher as well. And I've topped up the hand soap, although because of the beautiful sunshine it doesn't really look like there's anything in that bottle. So now what I'm going to do is wipe down the windowsill, wipe down the little tray, and then I'll show you how I clean my sink during a reset. We get a lot of watermarks on our sink, and just recently I started using the pink stuff from the Star Drops range, and I found this to be amazing. Do be careful when you use it because it is a little bit grainy, so don't use it on anything that could be scratched, but I find this fantastic for getting up tough stains on pretty much anything, and for giving the sink a clean and getting rid of those watermarks as well. So here we go. What I really want to show you is the kind of middle sink. So I'm just going to zoom it in here, you can see how grubby it is. And the reason it gets so grubby is because this is where we chuck kind of the dregs from our coffee and tea and stuff. So we do swish it away, but it does get marked. So just going to show you how this is now, and then I'll show you how it looks after I have cleaned it with the pink stuff. Let's have a look at that. It's just so much cleaner. It's brilliant. I love that stuff, and it's really good at getting those watermarks that get built up in like the little nooks and crannies. So yeah, definitely recommend that stuff. Just be mindful that it is a bit grainy and you don't want it to scratch your surfaces. Now everything is wiped down and reset. The sink is done. Last few little bits to do. So turn on the dishwasher and get all of the sink bits and pieces and wash it needs doing cleaned. I've put the cloth that I've used today in our cloth basket ready for washing later in the week. I've got a fresh cloth that we can use for a couple of days, and I've got a shower curtain ring that I clip on there, and then I just pop that on this hook here on the back of our cleaning cupboard ready. I'm also now going to switch out our tea towel and hand towel as well. Fresh tea towel in, hand towel. It has need to go in the wash because I can't find my clean fresh one anywhere, so I'll do that later. Last thing to do now is hoover. And there you have it, my kitchen all reset, ready for the week ahead. There's Andy, bless him, he's just been bringing the washing in. Yay! So there you go, now you have seen how I like to try and reset my kitchen on an almost weekly basis. As I always say, the way that I choose to do this is not necessarily the way other people would choose to do it. It is by no means perfect, but it does suit us. And also it's always evolving as well. So just to give you an example, something that I did make a note of is that actually next time I go around and clean the kitchen or do a reset, I'm gonna have a little bowl with me. So I'll always have my kitchen spray and I'll have my kitchen cloth, but I'm also gonna take like just a little cereal bowl or a snack bowl round with it, only because it means as I clear up the crumbs, rather than having to walk to the other side of the kitchen, which I know isn't far, but rather than having to do that, I can just chuck the crumbs in the bowl, carry on down the sideboard, and then actually when I finish with everything, I can just take that bowl over to the bin and then it's done. I mean, it's not gonna save loads of time, and it really doesn't matter walking over to the bin, but it's just one of those little things that helps. Work smarter, not harder. For me, there really is nothing like having a clean, tidy, organised kitchen, and I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video to see how I try and achieve that. I'd love to hear if you have taken any kind of tips or ideas away from this video, and actually I'd love to hear what your suggestions are as well and the things that work for you. I'm always interested in finding little new ways of how to organise and kind of keep the house running as smoothly as possible. As always, I'm going to wrap up by reminding you to take some time for you this week, whether it's 1 minute, an hour, anywhere in between. Please take some time to practice some self-care, however you choose to do that, but something that is going to fulfill you and bring you to a more centered and settled place. Thanks ever so much, guys, and I'll see you on the next vlog. Bye. Got my hair done, check my nails, good as hell.